President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with the head of the Libyan Presidential Council, Mohammed Yunus al-Manfi, at Ittihadiyya Palace. During the meeting, President al-Sisi expressed the Egyptian keenness to support the Libyan institutions in the presidential and the parliamentary elections in a way which realizes the Libyan people's interests. Moreover, President al-Sisi and the head of the Libyan Presidential Council stressed the significance of the foreign troops' exit from Libya. The Al-Had al-Manfi expressed his appreciation for the Egyptian support for Libya at all levels. He further hailed the Egyptian fundamental support at all levels as the reconciliation efforts to unite the Libyan institutions were evident. The meeting tackled the ongoing efforts aimed at consolidating the unity and security of Libya and strengthening the capabilities of its institutions. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli highlighted the keen interest of all the state bodies to follow up on the pace of work at the first phase projects of a Decent Life presidential initiative ahead of launching the second phase projects. The Prime Minister made the remarks during his meeting with the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, Tariq Al-Mulla, and the Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Hala Al-Said. Madbouli said the state is determined to raise the public living standard, coping with the objectives of the Egyptian 2030 vision for sustainable development. The initiative's first phase targeted the development of 1,477 villages nationwide. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri received a phone call from his Iranian counterpart Amir Abdullahian, which tackled the latest developments in Gaza amid the Israeli aggression and the catastrophic humanitarian situation in the besieged Strip. The two top diplomats agreed on intensifying the international efforts to reach a permanent ceasefire and providing Palestinians with the sufficient humanitarian aid, as well as discussing the roots of the Palestinian cause to reach a comprehensive and the just settlement based on a two-state solution. In this context, Shukri asserted the keenness of Egypt on reaching a ceasefire and stopping the bloodshed, as well as convoying the necessary aid to the people in Gaza through the Rafah border crossing. He expressed his concern over the escalating conflict in the region and the developments in the south region of the Red Sea, which he warned could impact the interests of several countries, including Egypt. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri stressed the necessity of launching the serious peace negotiations in a set timeline, aiming at the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, which brings back peaceful coexistence and stability to the region. The Prime Minister made these remarks as he received the phone call from the Shadow Secretary of State for the Foreign Commonwealth and the Development Affairs of the United Kingdom, David Lammy, on the situation in Gaza. Shukri said that it was imperative that the international parties move towards the enactment of the UN Security Council Resolution number 2720, providing for the activation of a United Nations mechanism for the urgent reconciliation and coordination for an immediate access of aid into Gaza. The top diplomat expressed the Egyptian grave concern regarding the Red Sea military operations' impact on the international navigation, warning against the expansion of the regional conflict. An Egyptian-Indian military drill codenamed Cyclone 2 wrapped up. The exercises were carried out by the Egyptian Special Forces and paratroopers and the Indian Special Forces at combat training fields in Egypt. The concluding stage saw the troops raiding a terrorist hideout in a residential area and implementing a number of shooting activities. The maneuver comes in the framework of the Armed Forces' keen interest in exchanging training expertise and enhancing the military cooperation with friendly and brotherly countries. Minister of Defense and Military Production Mohammed Zaki met with the American Special Envoy for the Humanitarian Issues in the Middle East, David Satterfield, who is currently visiting Egypt. The meeting dealt with the current situation in Gaza and the means of coordinating efforts to sustain the flow of the urgent humanitarian aid with the enough quantities in order to alleviate the human suffering of people in the Strip. Both sides stressed the importance of collaborating efforts to reach an ultimate ceasefire and preserve the souls of civilians. Egypt's stock market indices soared, being bolstered by purchasing operations by the Arab and the foreign investors. The main EGX 30 index added 0.54%. The small and medium EGX 70 index added 4.79%. The more expanded EGX 100 index added 4.2%. The overall transactions and dealings within the session reached £12.5 billion.